Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Agnieszka Kazimierczuk, and I'm a junior researcher in the Include project entitled Dutch Multinational Businesses, Dutch Government and Promotion of Productive Employment in Sub-Saharan Africa, a comparative studies of Kenya and Nigeria. I am affiliated to the Africa Study Center at the University of Leiden, and within the project, I'm responsible for the Kenyan part of the studies, where we focus on the sector of energy and flowers. As I'm still in Kenya, I cannot be with you in person, but I was asked to present to you via this video our preliminary results in the flower sector. Let me start. Kenya is currently the second largest producer of roses in the world, just after Ecuador, and the flower subsector is the third largest contributor to Kenyan GDP, just after tea and tourism. The sector employs, both directly and indirectly, 500,000 people, many of whom are women and unskilled labor. Therefore, the sector contributes substantially to creation of safety nets in the rural areas. Practically, the whole flower production is exported, with majority, over 50%, being exported to the Netherlands. Within the sector, we can distinguish three major activities: growing, propagation, and breeding. Majority of the companies are SMEs or large multinationals. There is, however, an emerging small holding, especially in the subsector of summer flowers. Despite many popular belief, only 5% of all growers are Dutch companies. Dutch companies dominate, however, the breeding sector, owning 40% of the market share. The Dutch companies that we visited provided good to very good working condition with written contracts, wages above the minimum, although still below the living wage, and additional benefits like housing or transport allowance. Majority of these companies have been certified by either MPS, Kenya Flower Council, Global Gap, Fair Trade, or another certification body. Often a company is in a position of more than one certificate. The companies are also active within the local communities through their CSR programs, although still it is rather ad hoc and reminding more of an old NGO model rather than professional long-term CSR program aligned with the core business. Companies in the flower sector face a number of challenges. Omnipresent corruption, access to land, and problems with obtaining VAT refunds are among most frequently mentioned. Overregulation of the sector with often contradictory or duplicating rules, as well as too many sector standards and certification follows. The increased cost of labor, transport, fertilizer and royalties, linked with a difficult access to funds, and lack of any external support are also negatively influencing the sector. For the smallholder, access to market and new varieties of seed and planting materials are the major problems. Finally, microeconomic challenges are affecting the whole sector, such as declining global demand, exchange rate volatility, EPA negotiation and recent Brexit, as well as emerging global competition from Ethiopia and China. There are, however, still many opportunities for the sector to further grow and develop. The government of Kenya can promote further investments through offering fiscal benefits to encourage employment and investments, lowering land lease rates and electricity costs, introduce EPZ for flower farms, promote more practical education on country level, as well as provide more transparent and efficient infrastructure, especially within administration. Another possibility would be to dedicate land with already developed irrigation system for commercial flower farming and push for more local content. There is a growing number of smallholder flower farmers, and Kenya Flower Council is currently addressing their needs and develop appropriate group certification to facilitate their access to the global value chain, a move that should be further promoted. There is also a need to further promote Kenya Flower Council standards that benchmark very positively against other certification, as well as to promote the National Mechanism for Compliance, NMC, developed, by the way, with the support of the Dutch government. NMC aims to promote responsible growing of flowers in Kenya, environmental stewardship, and social responsibility by all players in the value chain. It also plans to reinforce the institutional framework in Kenya through concrete capacity building within the sector. Dutch government can support the sector with private sector development funding. To just give few examples, support further expansion of already existing businesses that score well on responsibility scale. Assist with upgrading the farms to be more sustainable and integrate better CSR into their core business operation, or reinforce professionalization among smallholders. The opportunities for the companies are in ship cargo and accessing American markets. With increased national capacity, there is a possibility to advance further the local development of organic fertilizer as well as in-house propagation activities, and possibly in the future move breeding to Kenya. To conclude, the flower sector, as a provider of large-scale employment opportunities for women and unskilled labor, has a potential to promote inclusive development and therefore deserve further support. I want to thank you very much for your attention. I want to highlight again that these are still our preliminary results. I will be very happy to answer your question upon my return in October. For now, I wish you all a very fruitful debate and a very good afternoon. Goodbye.